What cracks are you trying to paper over? Me and my sister, over the years, have got pretty good at doing a bit of wallpapering. We've joked over the years about how we could set up our own brother and sister DIY service if our wallpapering and what's the word called for the, is it cornice? The cornice work that we've learned how to do over the years. So yeah, maybe there's a sideline there, I don't know. But the lessons that we've learned over the years are that the hardest bit about, say, wallpapering is trying to wallpaper over cracks. Because unless you treat the crack itself, unless you look after it, and in this case, in the case of DIYing it, it's about filling up the crack with polycell filler, and then letting it dry, and then sanding it down and getting it to a nice clean finish before you add your wallpaper. Because if you just try and wallpaper over it, you can still see the crack underneath, because the wet wallpaper will just sink into the crack, and it doesn't give you a good finish. So if you just tuned in and you're listening to me talking about wallpapering and you're wondering what the hell is he talking about, the reason I'm asking, or the reason I'm talking about it, is in terms of trying to wallpaper over cracks. And the question is, where in your life are you trying to wallpaper over cracks? So instead of actually fixing the problem, instead of fixing the crack, you're just trying to mask it and cover it with more and more wallpaper, but the crack's always going to be there. You're always going to see it, especially if you've got flush walls and then one big crack. The wallpaper is going to not be as good a finish. So where in your life are you trying to wallpaper over cracks? Where are you trying to just throw money at it? Where are you just trying to just address the symptom as opposed to the cause? So, there's when a situation arises and maybe your nutrition's not right in your eyes. Maybe your nutrition could be better, okay? Papering over the cracks would be akin to you trying to eat healthy for a couple of weeks. But the crack is still there in terms of your relationship to food, and how a lot of us, me included in the past, use it as an emotional crutch. And unless you address that relationship, that crack is always going to be there, no matter how much organic, gluten-free, vegan food you throw at yourself or throw down this pie hole. It's never going to address the problem. The crack is always still going to be there. So unless you address the crack, you can't just wallpaper over it. You can't spend the next 5-10 years doing diet after diet after diet, trying to wallpaper over this crack, over this elephant in the room, right? It's about getting back to changing the way you think about food, maybe, or changing the way you think about the thing that has caused the crack in the first place. And at the end of the day, most of it boils down to how we think about ourselves. How we think about ourselves. If we genuinely were happy if we were genuinely happy in ourselves, if we were genuinely happy with the way we are, and genuinely grateful for the things we have right now, we wouldn't feel the need to wallpaper over the cracks. Maybe your wallpaper is akin to, maybe it's akin to having one too many drinks at the weekend because every week is the same, and the crack for you is the fact that you don't like your job. Maybe your crack is the fact that you don't do things that are fun for yourself, and then you're trying to wallpaper over that crack by being materialistic and buying things or gambling or whatever your vice is. There's always some connection between a behavior that you're doing and the reason why. If it's something that you find yourself doing over and over, kind of habitual, kind of out of your own control, or it feels like it's out of your control, it could be because there's some crack that you're trying to wallpaper over, and until you address that crack of yours, it's always going to be there. And it's about working out how to, well, for a start, it's about actually being aware and acknowledging that these cracks are there in the first place. And then it's about what you're going to do about it. Once you've become aware of the cracks in your own health and fitness, in your own world, in terms of, you know, how much fun you're having, how much you would gauge your fitness to be, where your focus is, your family relationships, your finances, those F5, right? Those all important categories in your life. Like, what cracks are there that you would like to address? And are you willing to not just treat the symptom, but go down to the root cause? And maybe, you know, maybe you've not managed to find those cracks yourself, in which case that's where you get help from other people that have already helped people like yourselves with cracks like that. So if you relate it to what we do at MPRS, it's like within your first conversation with us, we always talk about what is it that has held you back in the past. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to make this change now? Like, why have you reached out for help now? Like, there's obviously something that you felt the need for help with, for you to reach out. So where right now are there cracks? And are they big cracks? Are they small cracks? I keep saying crack. I wonder how many times I've said crack during this video. But what cracks are there in your life? 1, are you aware of them? 2, if you are aware of them, how big are they? And 3, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just let them be and hope that they don't get any bigger and just wallpaper over them because they'll, you know, no one will see them? Or do you address them head on, tear back that wallpaper, address it, fix it, change it, fill it in so it's a smooth finish, so that when you add these other layers of, you know, wanting to improve your health and fitness, it actually takes, it actually sticks. It doesn't show the imperfections coming out from underneath. Final time I'll say the word. Where are the cracks in your life right now that you're have been attempting to cover over without much success?